Good morning. This is Keith Foote with Monday Morning Musings. And I thought I'd start with our current market conditions for the last 30 days. And totally, right now, we have 2,510 active listings on the MLS in Snohomish County, Washington, which Marysville, Washington is a part of. That's a drop of 12 active listings from this time last week. We have 158 currently that are bank owned, and that is a drop of 11. And short sales, we have 394 actives, which is a drop of 3. So the traditional sales makes up the rest, which is about 1,958. In regards to sales, during the last 30 days, we've had our average days on market is 64 days, which is a drop from the previous week. Bank-owned homes, we've had 578 closings, which is down from last week. We've had 110 closings, which is of short sales, which is down from last week. Last week we had 128. The last 30 days we've had 110. As far as traditional, that leaves 297 for traditional. So let's get on with the meat of our presentation today. Our presentation today, the main focus is 5 red flags of financial abuse for elders. As people begin to age, their abilities begin to wane, and that's when the bad people start coming out. And so here are 5 ways that we can help our seniors be protected. First off, social isolation. When they start being isolated, where they don't get out any, they don't participate in any activities, where they start to become lonely, that's a time that con artists begin to focus on them. They look for seniors who seem to be lonely, people that have kind of retreated into their own world. And then what happens is that the seniors, they really want companionship, and so because of their desire, then that often makes them targets for exploitation. Red flag number 2, changes in daily routine matters. For instance, and what I'm talking about here is that they can't take care of themselves, that they begin to lose interest in cooking, they can't pay their bills, they can't clean their house, things of that nature. When those types of things begin to happen, the swindler, sometimes a relative, will use their inability to care for themselves as a way to gain access to their finances. Not necessarily a good thing. Red flag number 3, concerns about a caregiver. If your senior, the senior that's your loved one or that you're working with, begins to complain about the caregiver, listen to them, because they're very rarely are lying. One example might be, let's say they give their caregiver $50 to go to the grocery stores, and it turns out that really they only needed to buy about $20 worth of stuff, but they didn't get any change, and your senior begins to complain about not getting change when they give them money to go do an errand, or they might complain about some other type of care being given to them. When they start doing that kind of stuff, you really need to listen to them and maybe take a little bit extra time to listen. Red flag number 4, becoming financially responsible for an adult who is, quite frankly, a bum. You know this person that they're giving money to is no good. You know that they're not necessarily good people, and the elderly person begins to give them an allowance or begins to pay for their education, and you know, or you strongly suspect, that they're really not using that money for that. So need to be careful of that. And then red flag number 5, complaining about what's not going on with their finances. Because sometimes they go ahead and they give power of attorney to a relative, and then that relative for their finances, and then their relative begins to become secretive, and they begin to not tell them what's going on with their finances. Maybe they refuse to share the information with them, or they don't let them take a look at the bank statements, things of that nature. And if your senior begins to complain about that, again, listen to that and take some time to investigate. What we can do. here's what we can do to help protect our seniors. We can help protect our seniors by watching, listening, and acting quickly to prevent them from losing their finances. You know, they've spent their lifetime trying to save and work hard and save for their retirement, and it's a shame if some swindler can get out there and get their money. So listen carefully, listen for some of these odd things, and then begin to act on them. Well, that's all I have today. That is the 5 red flags of financial abuse of elders that I have. This is Keith Foote in Marysville, Washington. If you want this full report, I'd be more than happy to send it to you, or if you have any other questions about real estate, we can do that as well. You can go to our website at ckrealestateteam.com, or you could call us at 360-474-5128, or you can email us at ckrealestateteam@gmail.com. Have a great day. Thanks for taking time to listen.